Hello and welcome to another edition of the Low Carb Mads look at some of the best blogs around. Today I'm joined by Lauren Lobley, which is a wonderful name, and I'm sure we're going to find out that Lauren is a wonderful person as well. Lauren, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. Can't complain at all. So I won't bore everybody. Let's jump in and ask you a little bit about yourself. Roughly, well, tell you what, where are you from?
I am from Montreal, Canada, actually, but I live in Malibu in California.
That sounds really nice. I'm almost jealous, actually, because you get some of the best weather out there. So now you've got a wonderful blog that we will find out a bit more about later. But before we dive into that, can you tell us who it is you're writing for when you're sort of thinking about articles for your blog? Because a lot of people forget all our blogs are really there for people, about people.
That's true. So the reason I started the blog was because I came from a very processed way of eating. And up until my mid-20s, there wasn't a vegetable I could eat that wasn't smothered in some kind of sauce to drown out the taste of the vegetables. And I started making a transition to eating more healthfully about 10 years ago, and my diet has completely flip-flopped. But I created recipes over the course of the last decade with somebody like my former self in mind, somebody who really wanted to eat chocolate and sweets and bread and pizza and all of those things that I loved. So with that kind of a palate in mind, and so my motto kind of became how to make healthy food taste good. So I cook for people who are looking to be healthier, but who really want the flavor and the textures to satisfy their sweet tooth or their perhaps desire to eat less healthy food. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually, yeah. And that's one of the difficult parts, isn't it, when we first start eating differently because we want to improve our health. What do we eat?
Exactly.
Having somebody like you to guide someone through, the initial stages and possibly even further than that is always a great thing. Super.
Yes.
So that's obviously part of the reason why you started your blog as well, then.
Definitely. It's a big part of the reason. The initial reason was that I used to work for a yoga company called Lululemon for about 4 years. And I thought I was going to work for that company for life. And then I decided almost out of nowhere that I was going to leave the company and go to culinary school. And that was such a drastic change. And I'd always been a writer. So I decided to start a blog to document my journey from leaving Lululemon to going to culinary school. And then what it turned into within a year is just what I said, which was learning how to make healthy food taste good because of certain discoveries that I made about how food is really medicine. So it started out as a documentation of my journey in culinary school, and it became a place where people could come to get recipes that were healthy, that tasted good.
Excellent. And actually, I've had a look at your blog, and you've got some really mouth-watering recipes on it.
Oh, yes. Well, I think so.
Well, I do too. And I'm not a vegetarian by any means. So, for the recipes on there to make me think, oh, I'd like to try that. They look and sound really good when you're going through both the recipe itself and how you put it together. Excellent stuff.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
As food's such a big part of what you do, would I be right in guessing maybe that's the thing you really like writing about?
About food? Definitely. Yes, I love writing about food and life. And interestingly, I think there's a huge correlation between food and life. And in culinary school, I actually had a chef instructor tell me that she could taste the difference between the bread that I used to make for the school, and then, because I used to be the bread baker for our culinary school, and when I passed it off to other people, she said she could taste the difference in the bread. And I truly think that depending on the emotions you have when you're cooking or baking, and if you talk to your food, which I certainly do while I'm cooking or baking, it makes a difference. So I like to blend the world of food and life together in my writing.
That's excellent. That's really, well, you can see that comes across in what I've seen on your blog. So with that in mind, with this sort of real emphasis on good food, there must be quite a wide range of people that you can help as a holistic health coach. But who can you help the most?
I can help the people who really don't think that they can make a change to be healthier because, well, this is what I hear all the time. I could never give up eating cheese. I could never give up drinking milk. I could never give up eating meat. I could never blah, blah, blah. Insert that, whatever you could never give up. And I think I can help those people the most because I was that person.
Right.
I was the person eating cheese for most of my meals, and pizza and hot dogs and hamburgers and milk. I could have been the spokesperson for milk. I mean, and bread and, all of those things. And so those are the people who I can help the most. And I think as a subset, you do have to have a little bit of an interest in cooking. You certainly don't have to be a chef by any means to do any of the recipes that I suggest. You just have to be able to read and follow directions, basically. But I recognize that there needs to be a little bit of a desire to cook your own food. But especially in a subset would be busy moms, busy, like if you're not a parent but you're working and you don't have a lot of time, or if you're both. I create recipes that don't take a lot of time to make and that also can be made in big batches so that you can create the recipe once and it will last you for a few meals instead of just one. Yeah.
I mean, I cook very much the same way. When I'm doing Sunday lunch or anything like that, I've always got at least two extra meals out of that.
Exactly.
It's. I think that's good planning, a good use of time. So we've been teasing people so far. We've been telling them that you've got some really nice recipes on your blog. We better tell them where the blog is. So what's the web address of your blog?
So the web address is delectableyou.com. So it's a play on words, of course. Delectable, D-E-L. Well, I'm going to have to learn how to spell this. No, I know how to spell it. Delectable, DelectableYou.com. That's where the blog is.
Super. Excellent. So they can find out all about the recipes, all about you, and I think you mentioned earlier, didn't you? You've got a book coming out?
I have a book called The Accidental Paleo. It's easy vegetarian recipes for a paleo lifestyle, and it came out in February, so it's available for your viewing pleasure.
And that's on the website. Can we get it anywhere else, such as Amazon or?
Yep, it's on Amazon. I have to find out. I know it's available in the US and Canada. I'm not sure about other countries. But if you're in a different country than the US and Canada, I can find out for you. So just send me an email. All of my information is at Delectable You, but you can also email me at lauren@delectableyou.com. And I can find that out for you.
Super job. Now, we've got your website. Are you on sort of Facebook and Twitter and all the other social platforms?
I am. Instagram is my main mode of communication, and Facebook. I am on Twitter, though. Lauren Lobley is my handle on Twitter. On Facebook, it's Delectable You. And on Instagram, I actually have both Lauren Lobley and Delectable You. So Delectable You, I put posts that are directly related to recipes, and on my personal website or personal Instagram account, Lauren Lobley, it's recipes, but you might see a little bit of my 2-year-old daughter in there sometimes too. So both are good resources for recipes.
Good job. I take it your daughter likes what you cook as well.
She does like what I cook. She does. She has no choice because I realize I don't cook certain things, so she just doesn't eat those things.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. But when she gets older, if she's interested in exploring something that I don't cook, I'm happy to have her explore that, as long as it's a clean version of what it is that she wants to try.
Yeah, I find it great with mums such as yourself who take a real interest in food. Their children grow up generally very well interested in food and the different types, and they're not stuck on the chips and the pizza and this, that, and the other. They know what vegetables are and they like them, and they've got a whole, how can I put that, a much wider experience and desire to eat good stuff.
Exactly. That's the hope anyway.
Okay, Lauren, it's been lovely chatting with you. Once again, can you give us your website URL?
Yeah, it's delectableyou.com.
Super. Well, thank you for spending the time to chat with us, and no doubt we shall spend some more time a bit later on. Thanks again, Lauren.
Thanks for having me.